Atkinson and Schiffer in 1968 suggest the basic structure of memory with their multi-store model. Although it seems rather simplistic today, it certainly sparked research based on the idea of information processing, and it has been one of the most essential models of the date. The model is based on two assumptions. First, that the memory consists of a number of separate stores, and second, that the memory processes are sequential. The memory stores are seen as components that operate in conjunction with the permanent memory store through processes such as attention, coding, and rehearsal. You need to pay attention to something in order to remember it, and you need to give the material a form which enables you to remember it. Rehearsal simply means keeping material active in memory by replacing it until it can be stored. The model contains several stores. Information from the world enters sensory memory, which modality is specific, that is related to different senses, such as hearing and vision. It continues into short memory store. Around 7 items are, and its duration is normally about 6 to 12 seconds. Material in shared memory is quickly lost if not given attention. The long-term memory store is conceptualized as a vast storehouse of information. This storehouse is believed to be indefinite duration and potentially unlimited capacity. Memory may be distorted when they are retrieved, because we fill in the gaps and create meaningful memories as predicted by schema theory. Bartley and Hitch in 1974 suggested the working memory model based on the multi-store model. However, they changed the view that certain memory in a single store. Working memory model it includes several components, whereas the multi-store model of memory only includes one. This model is divided into different components. The first one is the central executive. The central executive is a kind of controlling systems that monitors and coordinates the operation of the other components, which are called the slave system, can process any sensory information. The most important job of the central executive is attentional control. This happens in two ways: automatic level, that is based on habit and controlled more or less automatically by stimuli from the environment, and supervisory attentional level, deals with emergencies or creates new strategies when the old ones are no longer sufficient. The other component is the episodic buffer. The role of the buffer is to act as a temporary or passive display store until the information is needed, much like a television screen. The third part is the phonological loop. The phonological loop is divided into two components. The first component is the articulatory control system or inner voice, which can hold information in verbal form. This happens when you try to remember a telephone number and repeat it to yourself. The second component is the phonological store or inner ear. It holds speech based on material in a phonological form. The phonological store can receive information directly from the sensory memory in the form of auditory material, from LTE in the form of verbal information, and from articulatory control system. Finally, the visual-spatial sketchpad. It deals with visual and spatial information from either sensory memory or long-term memory.
Researchers have demonstrated that memory may not be as reliable as we think. Memories may be influenced by other factors than what was recorded in the first place, due to the reconstructive nature of memory. The term reconstructive refers to the brain's active processing of information to make sense of the world. But recently, the use of DNA technology has demonstrated what some psychologists have claimed for years: eyewitness can be wrong. According to Bartlett, people reconstruct the past by trying to fit it into existing schemas. The more complicated the story, the more likely it is that elements will be forgotten or distorted. Bartlett explained this as people's efforts after meaning. That is, people try to find a familiar pattern in experience, past or new ones. According to Bartlett, memory is an imaginative reconstruction of experience, which is exactly what modern research supports. To prove this theory, scientists had made an experiment which was telling people some words and then minutes later asking them the same word. The researchers concluded that the different words had an effect on the estimation of speed as well as the perception of questions. They explained that SMASH provides the participants with verbal information that activates its schemas for a severe accident. Broken glass is in line with this, so the participant is more likely to think that there was broken glass involved. Loftus research indicates that it is possible to create a false memory using post-event information. These results indicate that memory is not reliable. Finally, according to Freud, people who experience intense emotional and anxiety provoking events may use defense mechanisms such as repression to protect their conscious self from knowing things that they cannot cope with. They send the dangerous memories to the unconscious, which means that they will deny it ever happened. However, the memory will continue to haunt them in symbolic forms in their dreams until a therapist is able to retrieve the memory using specific techniques. Some researchers claim that these techniques can create false memories, which people consequently believe to be true. Reason why it's proven that memory is not 100% reliable as it was think so before these techniques.
Cultural psychology is the study of how psychological and behavioral tendencies are rooted in and embodied in culture. The main tenet of cultural psychology is that the mind and culture are inseparable, mutually constitutive, meaning that people are shaped by their culture and their culture is also shaped by them. Research shows that cultural psychology is the study of the way cultural traditions and social practices regulate, express, and transform the human psyche, resulting less in psychic unit for humankind than divergences in mind, self, and emotion. Cultural factors in cognition. Development of cognitive abilities such as memory, thinking, and problem solving is influenced by the social and cultural context in which people live. After industrialization and now with globalization and the development of modern technology, there has been a growing need for people with specialized education. We also need to learn how to organize information in our memory and how to retrieve the appropriate knowledge from our memory when we need it. According to United States psychologist Jerome Brunner, children of any culture learn the basics of culture through schooling and daily interaction with members of the culture which they live. Research the role of schooling or remembering. Cognitive psychologists have traditionally conducted research in the Western countries. One assumes that cognitive processes follow universal laws. Then all humans all over the world, regardless of culture, will perform the same cognitive task with the same results. When researchers performed the test with participants, they found that they poorly on many memory tests. Cross-cultural psychologists test memory in a group of people. It is necessary to have an insight into the language and culture of the group. Cole and Scribner, 1974, investigate memory strategies in different cultures. As a result, the non-schooled children did not improve their performance on free recall tasks after the age of 10. They remember around 10 items first time. After 15 practice trials, they remember only 2 more items. Children who had attended school learned least just as rapidly as children of the US, and they used the same strategy to recall. This is based on the categorical similarity of the objects. When the researchers analyzed the data, they found that illiterate children did not use strategies like chunks. They used grouping the bits of information into larger units to help them remember. But in a later trial, the researchers varied the recall tasks so that the objects were not present in a meaningful way, but were part of a story, and this is called narrative. Finally, we can say that they discovered people learn to remember in ways that are relevant for their everyday lives. And this is not always mirror activities that cognitive psychologists use to investigate mental processes.